Now, Islamic banking is something that is new. It's just a new trial. Because just before about 40 years or 50 years back, people thought that it's impossible for Muslims to establish any financial system that is not based on interest whatsoever. So Islamic banking came as an answer to this, alhamdulillah, and the first one was here in Dubai. That is Dubai Islamic Bank. That, the guy who was behind that, who tried so hard, Sheikh Saeed, he is still alive, Saeed Lota. And the other guy, that was the father of Sheikh Muhammad bin Rashid, that's Sheikh Rashid at the time. They struggled a lot, and they supported that idea a lot to make it a reality, and it became a reality, alhamdulillah. So it's just a trial. It's in the very beginning of it. It's still an infant. Yes, alhamdulillah, it has expanded so quickly all over the world. Many non-Muslim places are fighting to establish Islamic banking all over the world. London is trying so hard to make itself the capital of Islamic banking in the world. Can you believe that? Yes, London. They came to realize the importance of it, the trust of people, and during the financial crisis came as, subhanAllah, support to the Islamic banking, because they were affected less than most others, because they have real assets and real dealing. So it wasn't only in paper or just numbers on interest. Anyway, Islamic banking in general, they are valid, alhamdulillah. They do not compare to the conventional one or interest-based at all. However, they do have some issues, but those issues are minor. They do not change their realities. There are problematic points with them. They keep on trying to correct it, hopefully, from time to time. Here in Dubai, after about 10 days, inshallah, we'll have, or less than that, just about on the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, there is a forum about the fiqh of Islamic banking, especially in trying to solve many of the outstanding issues and come up with new solutions for Islamic banking. So, in general, yes, they are valid. In general, they are Islamic. They are allowed. They have many solutions to provide finance. They don't give loans. They don't work by loans. They work by sharing profit and loss. This is one way to do it, or selling on installment after obtaining the item. So they buy it and then they sell it to you on installment. They have other forms of finance as well. All of them, they involve an actual commodity or transfer of goods, making it a trade rather than a loan. And that is why, in general, yes, they are valid. If you have a specific one, you need to ask about that specific one to tell you whether this is valid or not, and whether there are any problematic points in them or not. But in general, taking an Islamic finance, not loan. Islamic finance is permissible as long as it is an established Islamic institute with its own Sharia board, trusted Sharia board, who are supervising the actual contracts and activity. If it is like that, alhamdulillah, there are no harm. You can use that if you need it. In general, it is not advisable in Islam to take loans. Full stop. Try not to at all. This is something extremely serious. So much so that the Messenger of Muhammad ﷺ, when somebody dies and he has an outstanding loan and nothing to pay off that loan, the Messenger of Muhammad ﷺ will not pray on that janazah. He will ask, does he have any loan? If they tell him yes, he said, pray on your brother. And the Messenger doesn't pray, because all his activities are on hold till that is paid. This is the right of people. The right of people are very problematic. You have to be careful about it. Now, taking a loan actually puts you in this criteria, that difficulty. However, if somebody is in need, there is no harm. You can do that. The problem is that many people nowadays are taking it just to expand, to do something more, sometimes unnecessarily. That is the problematic one. Don't do that. Work on what you can and progress slowly as much as you could, or else study your case very carefully before involving this. Because sadly, many times now we have, we'll conclude inshallah with this, just very quickly some points. Many people nowadays are excusing Islamic banking. For example, if he could not pay the debt and they take legal action against him or something, he says, how come this is Islamic or not? So Islamic banking are not charity institutes. They are financial institutes. They are there to make money. The money they are giving you or selling you through it, that is the money of people, They will be responsible about it. This is not their own. They don't give charity. That is not a charity. They are like any other trader. You own the money, you have to pay it back. Full stop. You don't, they might take legal action. They might do that. So you have to keep it in your mind, okay? So because many people, they just jump and think, okay, fine, Islamic, if I could not pay, they will just forgive me and tell me, okay, may Allah give you, or probably they will help me or give me something. No, they don't do that. In most cases, they are not going to do that. Something else is that sometimes Islamic banking are more expensive than others, yes. Because they do take a higher risk, by the way. And keep in your mind that good things are usually more expensive, naturally. If you want to buy a fresh juice, does it cost the same as a soft drink, for example? Which one is more expensive? So why is it more expensive when there are no packaging, no shipments, no taxes to be paid, etc.? Much, supposedly. Yes, but because something that is good, it costs more to make, and thus it is more expensive. So here sometimes, although they are trying to be competitive, but they cannot do that all the time. So sometimes they might be more expensive. That is another point that you have to keep in your mind. Yes, they are working. You are not forced to take any contract or any dealing. If you are in need of one of them, read it carefully, know exactly your obligations and the payment plan that you are going to pay, how many installments, etc. And they do have one big problem or big issue, that is the late payment fee. We're still stating that this should not be allowed at all. They take one opinion in the Maliki school. They had to take that action. We do not agree with that, but they had to take it. Basically, because in the very beginning of Islamic banking, people didn't pay the outstanding amounts of Islamic banks. They are not going to do anything. The interest-based one, they are going to increase it, or else they will file a case immediately. The Islamic banking, in the beginning, they didn't do that. So they used to just wait, okay, fine, try next month and next month and next month. Most people will not pay. So much so that the outstanding amounts and the capital were almost equal. So nothing, it was lost. And the central bank was about to close it down. So this is not working, something is wrong. So it was about to stop from the very beginning. And they were searching for any solution whatsoever to try to force people or pressure people to pay. They get one opinion in the Maliki school. That opinion actually states that it is permissible for anybody who got involved in a financial transaction with a third party based on the promise of the first party or second party. Because of your promise that you are going to pay, for example, by the end of the month or something, they were involved in another transaction based on that. And if you are not going to pay, they are going to lose. So they allow you to take a compensation for that loss. That is the opinion. The second point is that, again, there is the opinion in the same school as well, to force you to pay a certain charity. They can take that oath on you in case you do not do something as a promise that involved the transaction with a third party. They can tell you to do that, which they took. So they are charging a certain amount on late payment, which is quite problematic. However, it does not go into the account of the bank at all. It goes all to charity. Still, it is problematic, despite anything else. But that is one of the problematic points in Islamic banking that we have mentioned before. All in all, and despite whatever point that Islamic banking might have, they are still way better than conventional banking. They just don't compare. They don't compare, despite all. So alhamdulillah, Islamic banking is a solution, and it solved the problems of many Muslims all over the world, and it's still expanding. And when we are mentioning some of the points we're just trying to protect it and make it better, and make it progress. Because unless they get rid of these points, God forbid, it might increase or might involve other things, or people might lose their trust in it. And all of that is problematic for Islamic banking. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us to His divine truth and make us good for ourselves and everybody else. Ameen. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam taslima kathira.